Howdy everybody. Thank you for watching my video. Just want to throw this out there. I see a lot of problems and issues with people building apps with UI designs that just absolutely look horrible. And so here's the prompt that I used in the master design prompt. And here's the right one. Sorry, I had to pause it real quick. Here's the called the constraints of how, if you know anything about prompt engineering, making sure that we don't go within a certain guidelines. You can also adjust these per if you have any rules or things you want the app to fall under. Don't want to go into too much detail. You can read this more if you on how I actually construct the prompt. But more importantly, we're going to ask 3 questions for you. Make sure you listen to this part because you don't want to get this wrong in how you set it up. There's a specific way on how I use this on any type of app that I'm working on. Make sure that when you start a new chat, we want to start a chat in temporary mode. The reason being is because we don't want, whenever we use the regular chat, it's going to use all of the knowledge of any other previous chat we've worked on. And when you do temporary chat, it removes all of that previous knowledge. It can start from a fresh mind. Make sure you run this prompt in temporary chat. Go ahead and paste that there. And then it's going to say what the app concept is. Let's do, in the video I did a workout app. And let's do a restaurant app or something like that. And then what platform are we going to use? This is very important. ChatGPT natively allows an in-app code preview mode, but it only works with React Native. Depending on what type of app you have, if it's Flutter or let's say Swift, it's not going to be able to preview the designs, which is one of the most important things in why I use ChatGPT with building a UI designs, is because I can see what it actually looks like before it generates without having to paste all the code into my apps, because build me a cool UI and then you have to wait every single time for it to build, reload. Just having it in the web is a lot easier. We're just going to do it in React Native. And after this, any branding inspirations. This is a very, very, very important step whenever you're building a new app. One of the main things that I do is I look at competitor apps, right? And so let's say I wanted to work on a card, well, in our situation, restaurant app. I'm going to wait for this to load. I'm going to find this restaurant app. Also, go to dribble.com if you need some app design inspirations, but this one right here. And what I typically do when I need branding guidelines, which is, if you don't know what branding guidelines are, is essentially how it structures the look and feel of the app, so that you don't build something, a Nike app, and if you step outside the branding design, it doesn't even look like a Nike app, right? So branding design is very important, and before on this step here, I typically create a prompt for that. So using this inspiration photo, generate me branding inspiration guidelines. So we're going to go ahead and click generate here, and then we're going to wait for that to load. Trying not to continuously stop and pause the video. So you can see here it's constructing everything here, and it's important to know that the more descriptive you are about the screens, the better the output is going to be. The issue and the reason why I'm doing every single step here is because alone ChatGPT just sucks when it comes to building designs based off of just simple prompting, right? So let's put this in here, and then we're going to wait for it to generate. Let me go ahead and pause this. I'll be back. So on the next step here, it's going to show this, and then click ready. All right, so this is pretty much everything that you need to have when it comes to constructing your UI designs. Consider this as your tailored UI prompt. I showed how this works in the video. So it asks you a series of questions. Let me remove this, but instead here, it's going to have, let me go ahead and copy this right here, your tailored UI design prompt. And what you're going to essentially do here is, again, let me draw this out for you guys. Give me a moment. After here, you're going to be generate me the home screen. So that, again, one of the pain points here before was that it would just create crappy designs, right? Well, here it has all of this existing knowledge, branding guidelines, and so it will generate that home screen following everything that you've constructed beforehand. You can do a full-on prompt pack, which will give you the exact prompts of generating every single design. So if I say generate me the prompt pack, And if you don't know what that is, essentially how it works is you would have, it's going to go here, and then it's going to be a prompt. Consider this each one a little prompt, right? Boom, boom, boom. Consider these individualized prompts, and how it would work, since you are going screen by screen, you would paste each one into a new chat and just say, generate me this UI screen. And I'll show you why we're going to be doing this in a second. And it's because you can generate these screens in parallel. So what I'm going to do is, in your situation, you're going to go ahead and copy everything. And I'm going to, for this video, only show you one of them. So I'm going to go here, copy this, click on new chat, and then drop it in here. And say, before you do that, it's very important that you follow this. Generate me the UI screen for this in React Native preview mode. And then make sure you add these three things. It allows the AI to understand there's a breakpoint within the prompt. So it's going to be thinking of this separately. So we're going to paste that in here, click generate, and then I'm going to pause the video for you guys, and I'll just wait until it's done. I'm back. So we can see here that it is generating the code. One of the things I forgot to mention is that it doesn't natively generate React Native, but it generates React code, which is very important when it comes to, depending on your app, of course. I don't think it is React Native in here. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But I don't think it's React Native, but it is React. And so the code here that you copy, which I'll show you how to do in a second, is going to convert well into your app. So just give me a moment. Cannot preview your code. Just click fix bug and then just wait on that for a second. So even here, there's a couple of issues that come up, and it's good to just click on it and then click fix bug. Right here. Can I do this here? I don't know, but I just click here and then click fix bug, and then it should be fixing everything. So I'll be back in a second. So for the sake of this video, I think my camera glitched out. Hold on, let me turn this off for you guys. I'm going to use a different screen that I was working on for the video that I showed in the TikTok, because I think I was generating the onboarding screen. But you can click preview and you see some of this. If you don't get, here's the thing, the way it works and the way these things work is it has to use existing knowledge, right? And you have to find competitor looking apps. And so if I wanted to copy this dashboard screen, not only would it use your pre-existing knowledge of that prompt, but I could just say build me this dashboard using this UI layout for this app, this restaurant app. I'm gonna let that run too, and I'm just gonna I'll pause the video again. Sorry guys for all the pauses. So I could have kept going on honestly and just showed you an end product, but this doesn't even look that good yet. I want it to be better. So here's one of the things that I need you to learn, not only as a AI coder, but you need to be in a prompt engineering mindset. Think about what you see on here and what you don't see, what you and you don't. For example, I want the icons to be bigger. I want this, and this. So here's the things that I'm going to include in the prompt, and things you need to be including when you're generating these designs. Beautiful designs is more of a feedback loop pretty much. And so what I'm gonna do is paste this again and then hold on, let me click on preview. I need the food icons to be bigger, fix the alignment to match the image 1:1, add the explore more, which is missing, and the trending now shouldn't be in a vertical stack. It should be horizontal. Please match the image 1:1. And so the reason why I showed this to you guys is there's going to be problems and issues in anything really. The reason why I mentioned this already in this video is having in the web, it just allows me to implement these sort of feedbacks and changes right away. So once I do have the wireframe or UI structure pretty dialed, what I'm going to do is then copy the code and paste it into Cursor. Here I use the web for pretty much all the apps that I'm working on. But as you can see here, the icons and all that are not good. It's because this is a web environment. Once you have these custom images here and these custom icons and these images, that's where you would need to manually upload that into your app. But our goal here is to establish a structure. So I'll be back once this is done. And as you can see here, it has implemented those changes we were looking for. And what I call this is the chipping away effect. You are simply chipping away of every single issue you found until you get to that point. I'm sure you guys have all done this yourself, but let's say I want to keep getting this further. Let me look at the design again. So we can see here that it needs to be more square-like. It's very rectangle-like. We are missing, I mean, we can improve the fonts here, but we're missing the images, all that. You can add more. We could expand this to be bigger or add another icon to fill up this side right here so that it only shows 4 automatically. But honestly, 90% of the issues that we see from copying this design are fixed. And so if you want to keep dialing down into specific details, follow what I just showed you. You need to be very specific on the prompting on how you want it so that you can copy and make a beautiful design. But yeah, that's all, guys. If you want to add this into your app, all you have to do is click copy, and then of course you would paste what I do is just add this to the home screen for the dashboard, and then I do the marks here, and then I paste in the code. So it's going to, if you're using Cursor, build out the code for you. But guys, that's all that you need to know when it comes to building a design or building with AI, specifically UI design and crafting a very, very good looking screen. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'll be happy to share or comment back on anything.